Hello everybody, welcome back to another chess video. Today, this is a part 2 of the video, how to play chess. I'm just going to be going over some standard rules and, yeah. So, when you have two kings, okay, that was not supposed to happen. When you have two kings like this, and they're both, and they can both, if they can both go, right here, or if if it was like this, and they can both go right here, or the kings cannot touch. So, yeah, even so, anywhere on the board, kings can't touch. So, the king cannot go right here, here, here. Even if the king was right here, it can't go here or here. If the king was right here, it can't go here or here. Anyway, however, the kings cannot touch. So now the next rule, you need a king, a rook. If the king and the rook, if the king and the rook has not moved at all, like these, this rook hasn't moved, and this, if this rook hasn't moved and this rook hasn't moved, or sorry, if the king hasn't moved and the rook hasn't moved, you can castle. But if the and you can also do it over here, the king moves 2 squares and the rook just goes where 1 square over to where the king used to be. But say like you move the king right here and you just move back, you cannot castle. Or say the rook, oh my gosh. Okay, say the rook goes like right here, and you move back and you still can't castle. This is a new rule. Not new rule. It was made in 1700s. But it's called en passant. In French it means in passing. So say you have a pawn right here, and he has a pawn right here. He decides to double move. You can go right here, capturing the pawn. Remember how pawns can go twice in the first move? So that is a rule that kind of balances out. Next rule we're gonna go to is called check. So say say you want to, say you want to you want to waste the enemy's king's move, you just check him. He cannot go, he has to go right here. You check him again. See, you're threatening to take the king. And so he has to move. You can go right here. I'll get on to what this is called in probably a later video. That is not going to be recorded today. If you move now, the white king goes right. Now you can go right here, checking the white king. The white king must move. Yeah, well that's checks. Now let's get on to checkmates. So the black and the white king must be like right here. And then so say you have hold on, this position. Here's how fast the or actually it would be better if you just alright, so you go right here, back here. So a checkmate is when the king has no viable squares to go to. So say right here, and you go right here, and it's checkmate. Because the king cannot go right here because the rook takes. the king can't go, or the king can't go right here because the king takes. Can't go right here because the king takes again. So the king is like literally buffering this entire. Sorry. The king is buffering this, all three of these squares. So, and then the rook is buffering this rank. So, your king has literally nowhere to go. And that is it for this video. If you have any questions, leave it down below, and I will answer it to the best of my ability.